as you probably know by now, I love games of all kinds, and it's probably obvious. I've got all kinds of game stuff back there behind me. But I found a new one. Well, at least it's new to me. I don't think it's new to the world, that I've kind of fallen in love with, and my kids have fallen in love with as well. And it's called Godice, right? And it's this thing. I saw these folks earlier this year at CES where they were showing off Go Dice, Go Cube, which is their Rubik's Cube game, and then Go Chess, which is coming, which looks amazing. And I'm definitely getting my hands on that at some point because that thing is too cool not to have. But I kind of fell in love with the dice game. And you might say, dice, what's special, right? And the concept is pretty simple, right? So these are the dice. They're Bluetooth and they connect to your device, usually an iPad, but you can also Bluetooth them to your computer and then interface with the web. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, these dice, and I want to get into this, and we'll talk about the packaging and unboxing and all that kind of stuff. But this is the core of everything: dice, Bluetooth, charger. Yes, this charger is pretty sweet, right? The bottom comes off and you put batteries in here, and then the dice come out of this guy, right? And then how do you charge it? Well, you just hit it like this, right? And then it'll eventually turn green, and that means it's charged. And you have to charge them pretty much every time you use them, but that's fine. It only takes a few seconds, and you don't need all 6 dice all the time to play every game. This is probably a good spot to talk about the packaging, man. And the packaging on this stuff is gorgeous. It's awesome. Just like the dice themselves, the packaging is all top notch, right? Got your black box. The dice come out. There's a little pocket down here where you've got a nice little bag for everything. Everybody's got to have bags for dice, right? that harkens back to role playing. Plus, you've got a stand for your iPad or your phone, which is a nice addition. I didn't expect that, but it's there. And then you've got instructions, and you can look through this. But everything is really straightforward. It's basically you put your batteries into the base, then you push down the 5 onto the top of the charging base, and it charges each die, right? You have to install the app on your phone, of course, or your iPad, but after that, you're pretty much good to go. Now that you've seen the gear, let's go through kind of a typical scenario for playing a game, right? So you're going to pop open the app on your iPad, and you can see I've got the iPad shoved down in the stand that they include, which is nice. You'll get your dice out, and then you'll need to charge. We've talked about that and go through all of them. Like I said, you pretty much have to charge every time. Now we're going to play Pig, so you open up the app and then you go through and select your players. Now you need to choose your dice, right? So you roll it and you see how as you roll the numbers, they show up on the screen. Well, it associates those dice with the game, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Pig only uses 2 dice, so like I said, you just need 2 for this game. Not to get too deep into the gameplay of Pig. I mean, I could do a whole video about that one. But basically, it's a game where you roll dice and then you move your character on a path, right? The more you roll, the farther you can move. And things happen if you roll doubles or if you roll 2, like just then. You get Pig, right? You have to go back to the beginning. It's kind of a mindless, fun game in the basic mode, but there's also an educational version where you have to do math and that kind of thing to help kids learn. So, there's a broad range of games, everything from Yahtzee to this game, which is really cool, right? So there's lots of different things that you can do to enjoy. And as you can see on screen, there's a ton of different things to choose from. You can just scroll and scroll and scroll. It's pretty crazy. Now, you might think that that's really cool, and it is, but there's another piece to Go Dice that I think is even cooler, right? And I'm not going to do a full review on this part because I don't have all the bits and pieces yet, but there's another aspect to the dice, and that's the role playing, right? And I play D&D. I've been playing D&D since I was like 12 years old, and I'm almost 50 now, so I've got some years in. And well, these are Bluetooth connected polyhedron dice, right? And the way that it works is there are these shells, right? And the guts are the same. The D6 goes into the die shell, and it covers up like this, and then you've got a D20, and they have this for D4s, D8s, D12s, right? And you can set this up so that it Bluetooths to your PC, and then when you play Roll20 or any other internet connected role-playing system, well, you just roll the dice and your roll appears. So it allows you to have this interactive kind of scenario that's hands-on in a way that you really typically don't get to have with a Roll20 experience. This kind of makes it real, right? Because you're really rolling dice, and you could have the full gamut of everything from a D100 all the way down to a D4 using the shells and the D6s. So when I get my hands on a full set, I'll go through and show you how that works. Now, what I hope to see happen is something like integration with the last game board, and I'm dying to get my hands on a last game board so that I can show you that one. Anyway, so it's a big board that's a display that sits on your desk, and then that connects over the internet to other people with the game board, and then you play games together, right? And it's kind of like you're there, but when you have that board that you put miniatures on, and then you have dice like this that you can roll, it becomes really interactive, because then, you use your computer, you got your screen up, you can see your other players, you've got a board which kind of replicates the setting to everyone else that has this game board, and then you're really rolling dice, and it becomes almost transparent that the people aren't in the room with you. So it allows you to connect with anyone anywhere in the world and play these games in a way that would be just like if they were at a table with you. So super excited. Anyway, so that's Godice, both the role-playing version, the D20, the polyhedral, and like I said, there are cases for all the other versions of the dice, the standard Godice, and then for those that like the Rubik's Cube, they have the Go Cube, and then gochess, which is just coming now. Final thoughts are, I can't recommend this enough. It is absolutely an amazing, fun system to play a huge number of games, either alone or with your family or with people connected across the internet. It's a win-win for everybody, and you can spend hours playing with something that is relatively inexpensive. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. See you guys in the next video.